Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Megan. It's nice to meet you if anyone's watching this video. I've tried to film a first video for this channel several times without any success. So we're going to start off with something a little bit easier. We're going to start off with the Booktube Newbie Tag so you can get to know me a little bit and get to know my reading taste and like what the heck I'm even doing. So let's just get right into it. I've got the questions over to the left, so if I keep looking over here, that's why. So first question is, why did you start this channel? There's a couple different reasons. I've always wanted to do YouTube. I've tried it in the past when I was a teen and it didn't really go so well. And I've always loved reading, so it was kind of a good fit. I got into BookTube in the past couple years and I've kind of always been interested in starting a channel. So that's a big part of it as well. I've never really felt drawn to start a channel in any other topic as much as I have to BookTube. So I really wanted to just try my hand and see what happens. And also I'm off on a 10-week hiatus from work. So I have a lot of free time. So I figured it was probably the best time to do it. And you know, New Year's and all that, new fresh starts and whatever. I just figured like, I'd rather try doing a BookTube channel and fail and then say I did it than always think, oh my god, what if I tried and what would happen? So yeah, that's kind of why this channel began. The second question is, what are you most excited about for this new channel? I would just say I'm super excited to have a creative outlet for my reading. I'm lucky that I have a lot of friends. Well, my friends like reading, so we do talk about books, but there are some books that is not really their zhuzh, so we don't really talk about those genres. And also sometimes I feel like I monopolize the conversation by wanting to only talk about reading, and we have a lot of other things to talk about, such as gossip and what happened to people we went to high school with. So I just wanted another outlet for those kinds of conversations, and by conversations I mean me talking to a camera. Why do you love reading? Wow, that feels like a really loaded question. I've always loved reading. Ever since I can remember, I've been a huge reader. My mom is a huge reader as well, so I figure that's probably where it started. But I really like reading because it's a way for me to, you know, spend my free time that doesn't make me feel like crap after. I love, you know, watching YouTube videos. I love playing video games, but I find after I do those things, I don't feel great about myself and about the time that I've spent doing that. So reading's kind of the opposite for that. I'm able to, you know, enjoy my time, get some entertainment, and still feel better at the end of the day for having actually read the book. And it's just an opportunity to experience a bunch of different stories that I wouldn't ever, and a bunch of different like perspectives that I never would have gotten if I hadn't read. When it comes to TV, I watch the same things over and over again. So reading is kind of one of those things that you have to try something new if you want to continue doing it. So that's why I love reading, the different perspectives, all that fun stuff. What book or series got you into reading? This is going to be a little cliche. I would say in terms of like longer books, like actual adult level books, not just like Arthur, it would have to be Harry Potter. And I have a complicated relationship with the Harry Potter franchise. I still read the books, reread them. I've just finished my most recent reread like a couple weeks ago. I don't agree with J.K. Rowling's politics. I support trans rights. Trans women are women, trans men are men. Fuck you, J.K. Rowling. But also, I have such a deep connection with the Harry Potter series that I find it hard to get away from it. My mom read them all to me probably from when I was like 4. She started reading me the first one. And then even when I was like, you know, old enough to be able to read them to myself, like when the 5th, 6th, and 7th books came out, she still read them to me, and they have a really important place in my heart. And I just, it's really difficult loving Harry Potter as much as I do, but I just do okay. What question would you ask your favorite YouTubers? Oh, I would say, how do you get over your like camera shyness? And from what I understand, it's just you gotta keep doing it, but I think that's the hardest part. I have books I want to talk about. I have topics I'm excited and video ideas that I'm excited to present. It's just like I have a difficulty talking to the camera in a concise way that will be tolerable for other people to watch. And the other thing would probably be, how do you come up with new ways to talk about books? Because I tried to film like my top 10 books and I was just like, it's really good. Yeah, it's actually really good. I need other adjectives, I think is the thing. I need a thesaurus. But yeah, I love when other booktubers are able to explain books in like a really beautiful way that makes you actually want to read it. And I think I'm struggling with that. I'm assuming it comes with practice, so we'll have to see. What challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? Probably both of those two things, being able to explain books in a unique way, getting over camera shyness. Some of them are logistical, like finding time to actually film a video where no one will hear me in my room talking to myself because I live with my family and no one ever leaves. Probably like consistency. I'm really bad for starting new hobbies and then just dropping them. So I want this to be something that I don't drop, which is why I've been working really hard to make sure the first video is good. So yeah, I just want to make sure that I'm really consistent with this and that the videos are actually good. You know, the bar is so low. I missed this one earlier. What are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? This one I read before and I was thinking about. I'm not sure if my reading taste isn't unique in any way. I don't think it is. My sense of humor is an amalgamation of other people I've seen on YouTube, so you're probably gonna experience a little bit of that. But I kind of do want to make not just booktube videos, at least at the start. I'm a huge simmer, so I'm hoping maybe I can make some sim videos if that works. I have a lot of other hobbies that I like to show. I'm a big hiker, a big camper, so maybe I can do a little bit of variety content. I think that would be a lot of fun, and that might help, you know, with me not getting bored. Being Canadian, I think that's another unique thing, I guess. I want to be able to highlight more Canadian authors, and also specifically highlight Indigenous Canadian authors and the amazing stories that they're telling. I've read some, but I'd like to continue to read a lot more books by Indigenous authors and share them with the wider world. When did you start reading? Like I said, I don't remember not reading. When I was little, my parents got me like a child dictionary, and it was like one of those illustrated ones, and it was pretty thick. It was like this big, this thick, hardcover, and I would put it under my pillow. This is what they tell me. This is a really cute story, so you could say aw at the end. I would put it under my pillow and sleep on it because I thought it would teach me to read. And that is very cute. I'm not that cute anymore. Second last question, where do you read? Here in my room, mostly on my bed. Also in my living room and downstairs. I have to have complete silence or like white noise to read, so I can't really go into like coffee shops. Like that's not really like a great place for me to read. I won't get anything done, so I have to be enclosed. But I'm also a huge audiobook fan, so that's how I take my reading into the world, whether I'm like driving or going for a walk or going for a hike or whatever it may be. That's how I'm able to get outside. With not working right now, most of my reading has been done in my room. I like to pop on a nice white noise video on the TV, set the mood, and just read until I fall asleep. What kind of books do you like to read? Well, why don't we just pop up my story graph? Genres. So my number one genre is contemporary, and I think that makes sense. I read a lot of, I would say mostly like fantasy, romance, and contemporary / literary fiction, and a lot of those are kind of interwoven. A lot of the fantasies are romance, contemporaries are romance, everything's romance. Did you know that? So last year my biggest category was contemporary, and then romance, and then fantasy were tied for second. Fourth / third, literary, and then historical and YA. I would say that kind of covers my main reading things. Not a huge nonfiction person, not a huge horror person, thriller person. I do want to get into more of those. I did read some horror last year. Wasn't my favorite, but I did it. So yeah, I kind of thought I was mostly a fantasy reader, but last year was a huge year for romance for me, apparently. And our last question. That was our last question. Okay, well that's the end of the video then, because that's the last question. here's hoping that this video turns out and that it actually gets seen by someone other than me. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you stayed this long, subscribe. I'm hoping to put out at least like a video a week sharing some of my favorite books. I think maybe my next one I'll try and refilm that top 10 book video of 2022 and maybe be just a little more chill in it. But yeah, thank you so much for watching and I hope you have an amazing day.